I don't hear you, Erika.
Okay, let's try again. Are we live?
I hear you.
Okay, so welcome. It's Monday, you guys. And indeed, it is a beautiful, beautiful Monday. I can see in the chat box, we have Botswana, we have South Africa, we have Missouri, we have people from all over the world, literally, joining this Zoom. The excitement is high for Africa. Can I get an amen today? We are all excited for all the beautiful things happening in the company at the moment and for all the amazing things that will be happening shortly in Africa. You guys, as we open up the Zoom tabs, you know I love Elon Musk, right? You know I'm a huge fan.
And I love the Tesla. So I'll just tell you right now, that's what I love. So,
well, I'll tell you, he's just one of my favorites. He's an amazing guy, and he's a bit of a weirdo, but he's so smart. He's just so stinking smart. It's just incredible. But for those of you who do not know, may I just interject and say Elon Musk is South African, just for those of you who did not know.
Of course you have to say that. Of course, Erika. All the smart people.
I'm telling you, but I read one of his famous quotes today, and Tams, my gosh, when you sometimes read something, it just kind of hits you in the gut. And he has this saying, and I want to share it with all of you as we open up the Zoom. And it's wise wisdom from a guy who walked the walk, right? He said, your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. I mean, let's just get that one in the chat box, right? Your will is the most accurate way to predict the future.
Wow.
That's powerful. I mean, it is powerful. We can keep each other busy with training Zooms and vision boards and management systems and all the wonderful things that we know we need to do. It's important. But at the end of the day, Tams, is it not your will that will determine the grind?
Absolutely. Every single day, it is your will. It is your desire. We talk about your why you do what you do. And when it's big and it's strong and you keep it ever before you, we have an opportunity inside of NewAge to really be a legacy business, a legacy hope future, a hope, trust, and a plan is what I say. That's what NewAge is.
Absolutely. And today, as you hear from the president of NewAge, how honored are we, Tams, to have Mark Wilson on today. But I want to encourage you, it is what Mark will share, but it also is not what Mark will share. What will make your business successful is really your determination and your grind and your go and your I will not stop. I will persevere. They can call me crazy. They can laugh at me. I mean, we've heard it all, Tams, right? But at the end of the day, if you stick to it, you will succeed. So Tams, that is my 5 minutes of Monday motivation, right? I'm going to hand it over to you, and you can have the honor of introducing the legendary Mark Wilson.
Wow, no kidding, Erika. Thank you for that. That is, I'm going to put that ever before me. I'm actually going to write that quote down and put it on my refrigerator, in my car, in my bathroom, everywhere I am, because we have the ability to control our will. We have the ability to make the difference for the future of our families, our communities, our churches, our friends, our family. We have that inside of NewAge. So I'm just so honored that I get to introduce you to Mr. Mark Wilson, who is the president of NewAge. He is the number one guy inside of our whole business. And I could give you a lot of accolades. Thank you for spotlighting him. And I could give you a lot of accolades on who he is, what he's done. And he's done a lot. He's been very, very successful inside the industry of network marketing. He's run very successful companies. And he's just a really impressive guy. That's just the honest truth. He is. But what I like most about Mark Wilson is that he's a person of the people. He is a lover of the people. He is a visionary. He is compassionate. He is a hard worker. He is there for you. He is there for me. He is there to see our legacies fulfilled for our family. He is a father and a husband, and he knows what that's like to want more for your family. He knows what it's like to have a hope, trust, and a plan. He knows what it's like to start something and to have the will, because we would not be a global company like we are today if Mark Wilson wouldn't have had a will to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So many great things are happening right now inside of NewAge, our global company. So Mark, I first just want to say thank you for the honor of joining us today. It is such an honor. I too am wearing my red, and I'm white, so it's red, white, and blue. So I have my patriotic colors on as well. And I love that you have a flag of the United States of America, which of course is our home. You have people from all over the world that are tuning in, but we just celebrated the 4th of July, which is Independence Day, which is a very big holiday here in North America. So anyway, Mark, welcome. We're so glad you're joined with us.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so good to be with all of you. And I have to tell you, Erika, I loved your quote. Elon Musk, I like him not because he's South African, but because he's crazy. I think that guy is crazy. And I'm telling you, crazy is when you do things that everybody else can't even imagine that it's even going to work. You know, you think of one of his most recent things he's doing, the Tesla. Okay, that's a fun car. And I own one. I have a P100D Model S. It is incredibly fast. It is fun to drive. It drove me down to work today. I just clicked on autopilot and it just drove me down. Okay. It is, and you can't even experience something like that because you just imagine, okay, the car's actually driving down the freeway with all the other cars all around me at 80 miles an hour, and it's doing everything for me. Okay. 20 years ago, if you would have told me that was even possible, I would have looked at you and laughed and said, how is a car going to drive me down the road and know everything that I intuitively know as a human being driving? Well, it does. So it's amazing how our world can change when crazy people do crazy things. So today, I think that's a great thing because you have to be crazy. You have to create a world around you that is crazy, that people look at you and say, you are nuts to even think you can accomplish what you think you can accomplish. That's the only way you're going to do big things. Otherwise, you end up being average. And average, I promise you, is not that fun. Average is safe. It's in the middle, but you don't really get to experience and achieve your potential. And really, if you're doing anything in this company, and in your business ventures, you really should go after the crazy. You should go after a little bit of on the edge. And I know, my wife and I talk about this all the time because she's a little more conservative and I'm a little more of the crazy, right? And we balance each other a little bit about this. But the nice thing about this is every once in a while, when I see her pushing a little beyond and she's learning that I need to push out of that comfort zone, because that comfort zone is what we were raised in. We were raised in a comfort zone to say, go to school, get good grades, stay out of trouble, get a good job, and someday you can retire, right? Most of us, that's not that exciting when you really think about it for 30 or 40 years and there's something better. And so really that's it. Where most people don't quite achieve their goals is the lack of consistency. It's consistency and tenacity. I've found that's my experience. If I could give you anything, we're celebrating independence. I've been a little bit of a history buff this last year, reading a little bit about this. And when you read through some of the things that had to happen for this nation to become independent, and people that did crazy things that no one thought were possible. And yet today it seems normal because we read in the book and go, oh, this is how it happened, right? So just how you can see in your life, look back and think about some of the things. a year and a half ago, this whole COVID thing that changed our life overnight, right? Just boom, that fast. I remember sitting in Ireland in our office when we heard about it and they said they're closing down the borders. We left stuff in the fridge in our apartment in the UK, in London. We thought, oh, no big deal. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. It'll be no problem. Well, a year and a half later, I finally got my clothes shipped back over out of our apartment. Okay, things can change. But the amazing thing is, we learn, we adapt, and we overcome. And some really become the fortunate. They take advantage of this and they leverage it. And others sit back and watch and say, I wonder what's going to happen. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to watch and see what's going on. And we live in fear. So I think today my message would be, don't live in fear. Don't live by being a participant. Be involved in this, be engaged in this, and create your world. Create the world you want, the better world you want. I think that's the most important lesson for me. I came from a very average American family. My dad was in the military. My mom was a farm girl. We didn't have a lot. I tell a story. Rick Redford, I don't know if you've ever met Rick. He's our president of North America here. And Rick loves Adidas, the old retro Adidas. Now, Adidas, Stan Smiths, and everything have come back and kind of been popular again. And I remember when I was in high school, I wanted a pair of Adidas and I wanted them so bad. My mom's like, no, we're buying you Converse. Now, the funny thing is Converse is outrageous expensive and trendy now. You know, see how old I am, things cycle back through. But I remember she said, you can have these canvas, you know, Converse shoes. And I said, I don't want those. I want the leather Adidas, right? And she's like, well, they're 3 times the amount of money. I'm not paying for them. If you want them, you go earn them. And I went to work, working on a farm, doing whatever it took. And, you know, I can even remember my mom kind of teasing me about, why would you go to all that effort just to get that pair of tennis shoes? You know, you can get other shoes and they'll function just fine. Sometimes when you realize that you go after something and you don't let anything get in your way until you achieve it, the accomplishment to this day, the funny thing about it is those shoes probably meant more to me, and they're just a pair of shoes, right? But they meant more to me because of the sense of accomplishment of what we can accomplish in our lives. If you'll make this a game with your business, in your new age business, you will find that it will reward you the same way. And you haven't even come to the realization of what it can do to reward you. You know, I can give you examples of people in Europe and all over the world who are living a lifestyle that you all say, well, this is kind of fairy tale dreamland. Why? Because they applied those principles in that time and that duration. And for some, it'll happen really fast and you'll just go, wow, how come they're so lucky, right? Because you never earn it in our business, I promise you. All right. You go from being crazy to one day, you're just lucky. Wow, she's so lucky. He's so lucky. It's hilarious to me. And I don't even fight it anymore now. Just do me a favor. Just smile when somebody tells you how lucky you are when you achieve your goals and just say, thank you. I am very lucky, right? Because an entrepreneur is the only person who really understands the principles, the late nights, the weekends, all the things. And it's this delayed gratification that is so difficult to grasp because we're taught linear, right? I want you to remember that. You're taught linear. So what your leaders are trying to help you with right now is they're trying to inspire you to think this delayed gratification. Where we fail, where we mess up is we go crazy on something for a little while and it doesn't immediately pay us back. It doesn't immediately start to monetize. And we say, oh, see, this just doesn't work. I might as well just stop, right? And we give up before we hit that momentum, before we hit those success. And it's different for everybody. I wish I could tell you, if you do exactly 5 presentations, you'll get exactly this. Okay, that's not going to be the case. Some are going to hit their aces in the first 5, and some it's going to take 50 or 100, right? Or 200 or 1,000. But the reality is it's still there. It is a game of odds. And that's the beautiful thing I like about where we're going. As a company, you are in the right place at the right time. This company is continuing to grow. What we've done in a year ago, we had 2 separate companies, 250, now combined $500 million and growing. That is just the beginning of where we're at. Now, most companies would say, wow, you're a $500 million company. That puts you up in the top 30 in the world. That's pretty impressive. Maybe that's where you want to be, right? And for many, most people say, well, we'll just get to $1 billion. Well, I want to go on and tell you our goal is to be over $1 billion in this next 12 months. Okay. And people are saying, How are you going to do that? We're going to do that the same way we're doing it. We're going to focus on organic growth. We're focusing on markets like Africa, opening these up and helping with this, expand our market share. But we're already around the world in so many places, and we haven't even scratched the surface in China and Japan, in the United States, in Canada, Mexico. I can go on and on and on, all throughout Europe. Okay, we haven't even begun. We're just infants. We're just babies when it's getting started right there. So that organic growth mixed with the acquisition model that we have that is so unique to our company to allow us to bring this in and basically create this house of brands, allow us to create almost a house of MLMs, okay? And we love the direct selling industry, and we want to be that person that can help consolidate that and add value and power and strength and stability. Now, why 1 million? Well, for most companies, it was 1 million's good, and now you're in the top 20, and that's good, and let's hang in there. For us, we think that's just the beginning as well. That's just the next little step, all right? And why is that? Because we have a model, we have an opportunity right now, and we love and we're inspired by people like Elon Musk, like Amazon, Jeff Bezos, like these individuals who think outside the box. They think crazy, all right? The other day when I heard about Elon and his Starlink, and I thought, no, you can't really do this. And now I've seen a few of these where on these, we have a houseboat down in Lake Powell, and it's a beautiful place. Well, there's no internet service. Well, 3 or 4 of the boats, they were smart and they got right on as soon as it was announced, and they have a Starlink, okay, where they're getting internet service that's faster than my house in their boat in the middle of the lake, in the middle of nowhere, all right? And the technology of somebody crazy enough to say, I'm going to go launch a bunch of satellites. I'm going to start my own SpaceX. I'm going to privatize space. I'm going to do all these things. Okay. Most of us just go, that guy is nuts. He's from South Africa. He's crazy, right? I had to throw that in there. But the reality is, think about it. If you've ever studied the story of just that one individual, Elon's failed too. Okay. He's had failures. He's had things that haven't worked out. The difference is, the great entrepreneurs, when they fail, they come right back and they keep swinging. And so you have to decide in your mind that, okay, I'm not looking for the failure, because if you look for it, you're going to find it. But if you're looking for the success, you're going after it. When you do stumble, when you do have an obstacle get in your way, if you've already made the decision that I'm going to go around it, through it, over it, whatever it takes, then you don't waste any time second guessing. You don't waste any time saying, you know, maybe I'm not as great as I think I should. Maybe I shouldn't start SpaceX. Maybe I shouldn't do Starlink. Maybe I shouldn't continue with the things that are going on with Tesla and the other things, right? Imagine where our world would be today. And he's reshaped the entire automotive industry, right? I see all the big players are all running to go all electric. They're going with battery technology. They're trying to find self-driving cars. Why? Because they see this, it really is the future, because somebody was crazy enough and innovative enough. You want to look at another example? Look at the smartphones. Okay, smartphones. Just okay. I'm 56, but if you think about in our lives, how has telephone changed in our lives? How has it changed? Okay, it is night and day. My kids don't even understand what a rotary phone is anymore, and the fact that you actually exist without a cell phone, they can't even imagine it. Okay, so changes will continue, and you can choose to be a part of it, or you can choose to sit on the sideline. What we've created with NewAge is not something just like everything else. It is not just average. It is not just destined to say, let's build a nice little company and see what happens. No. This is disruptive, industry changing, whole new way of thinking. Crazy stuff. When people are thinking, well, there's no way you can consolidate all these companies together. I've had all of my peers in other companies tell me, Mark, you're crazy. And every time they tell me, I just smile and go, thank you. You know why? Because that's what I want to hear. I know I'm on the right path when everybody's telling me I'm crazy. You know why? Because I'm crazy enough to believe it can happen. Now, is it going to happen perfect? Is everything going to happen exactly the way I thought? Am I going to have some failures along the way? Absolutely. All I need to have, though, is more successes than I have my failures, and we're going to be okay. And so that is our positioning. That's where we're headed right now. And we're excited about this. This last weekend, you may not realize this, but some of you are seeing some little changes, but you're going to see new changes in the enrollment process, the ordering process. It is beautiful. It is headed in the right directions. Is it perfect right now? No. Can you imagine almost 70 countries trying to switch, all but Japan and China all at once? Okay, that is a monumental task. We've had IT in here all weekend. They've been working on this for months. They're still here today, all through the holiday. Why? Because we're transitioning our systems in a situation where we can do things no one else in the industry can do. Let me repeat that. We have systems that no one else in the industry can do. We actually can run multiple compensation plans in the same company all the way through, which has never been done before. Okay. Literally, Japan and China that are not changing this weekend still will get their commissions on a monthly basis, while we've transitioned North America, the other markets, Europe, all these other markets to a weekly new compensation plan, and everything's going to seamlessly work through it. Now, it just blows my mind. I kept asking them, how are you going to do this? Because they thought, let's go crazy. Let's think of things that no one else has done before, and let's innovate in a way. I bet you in 10, 15 years, the industry is going to look back at this and say, oh, this is so normal. This is so standard how we do things. But it takes somebody to innovate. It takes somebody to be crazy. And that's where we're going. This is just the beginning, because we want to reshape the whole industry. We want this to be an industry you can be proud of for years to come. And by building the stability, by building the scale, somebody asked me the other day, why do you want to be 2 billion? Why do you want to be 3, 5, 10 billion? Why do you care about that? What I want to do is create that stability, because as we get bigger, we have better buying power. We have better stability. I have economies of scale in markets and efficiencies. Okay. All of those things are advantages. Can you imagine 5 different offices all competing against each other in a market like the US, or one market? Okay. And all 5 of those into one office and one conglomerate. Okay. That's the power. That's the scale. And it's been an age old in every industry. Okay. It's not just our industry. Look at many industries out there, how you have big conglomerates that come together and say, let's consolidate and let's have that market dominance. All right. And I'm not going to be embarrassed about dominance, because dominance is going to give us stability. It's going to give us the flexibility. It's going to give us the adaptability to really be who we want to become, and actually make this industry such an incredible industry for all of you. So if you can't tell, we're excited. We're fired up about where we're going. We're continuing to show positive EBITDA profitability. The next step for us is to show bottom line profitability. In case you're an investor, what we tell the street and the investment is, it takes time, because all of this infrastructure, as you're pulling it together, as you imagine when these companies all came together, everybody had offices. In fact, I had 3 and 4 offices in the same city sometimes. Well, that takes time for leases to come together. It takes time for consolidation to come together. And as that all meshes together, eventually, that's where we get the real leverage and the opportunity to really gain from a profitability standpoint as well. So mind you, we are going to be profitable. We're going to make sure that this is a great company moving forward. Don't get too nervous. If you hear anything like that, just smile and say, you know what, we understand where we're going because of the convergence and the other pieces that we're putting together. We just want to deliver the very best for you. Our job is to make sure we take your order, we ship your order, and we pay commissions. Those are the 3 things we absolutely need to do and do well. And after that, the rest is just fun. A lot of people ask me about the social side, Tammy and Erika. I'd add one last thing. We are focusing on that. And it sometimes makes people nervous when we say our goal is to become the world's leading social selling and distribution company. And they say, well, what does that mean? What does that mean to me? Well, I would add, we want to become the world's leading social selling and distribution company to help our brand partners become the most successful in the industry. All right. So never think that you don't come first, because you always come first. You are our only way we're successful. Okay. Without you, we're not successful. This model doesn't work, and it can't work. And so We want to make sure you understand that. But what that does mean is, as we put these systems in place, first, we needed good ordering and enrollment systems to make it easier. You're going to see things coming out that are additional social selling tools. We've already been launching some of these with some of our new apps and tools that are just starting to be integrated out there, and they're just getting started. You're going to see new video clips, new things that make it easier for you to share. You'll see a ranking on there. You'll see all kinds of fun things throughout this year as we continue to add this. And really what we want you to do is take it so that it's Mark Wilson proof. I'm an old guy. I'm not a big social guy, right? As far as Instagram, I still don't get TikTok. I don't understand TikTok, all right? But my kids do, and the next generation does, and that's all that matters, because I don't need to understand it. What I do need, though, is some tools and tips on teaching me how to become more of an influencer. How do I expand my influence? Even if it starts with a few hundred, how do I expand that to a few thousand? And how do I expand that even further? And there is some systems out there that people have paid tens and tens of thousands of dollars to learn. And in the past, it's always been just this little group of people who really get how to become an influencer in social media. Yeah. As this emerging technology comes out, our goal is to teach you all how to become better at the social selling game, because it's going to be one aspect. Now, don't just think that you're going to sit back and do that, because I still believe there's a lot of power in the traditional methods of one-on-one, on networking, on communicating, on building relationships. And so I would say this should be one of your aspects, not the only, and vice versa. Because I don't believe unless you become a mega influencer, you'll really achieve your goals unless you can do all of the above. And that's the fun part about this. This should be a journey. This should be fun as you're learning and going through this. We had a little get together yesterday for the 4th of July in our neighborhood, and there was a bunch of new neighbors I had never met. And so one of our neighbors invited everybody down and had a little bit of a barbecue, and everybody brought salads and different things. Well, the fun thing was, as we were sitting there talking, can you imagine how many times people ask me, what do you do for a living? Yeah. Tell me about your company. And all of those networks that started right there, okay? And it was amazing. Some were interested in the business side, right? Some were interested in products. Oh, I've got this bothering me, or do you have anything for sleep? Or do you have it? I just don't have energy. I mean, there were opportunities everywhere, and I wasn't even trying, right? These are just people coming to me and talking to me. That are my neighbors that I should already know and I should have already networked with. But the reality is, you want to use a combination of both, okay? As you're doing this, as you're working on this, this will be beautiful, all right? So having said that, we're working hard here. It's technically a holiday. The 5th was our holiday to celebrate, but we're all in here working because there's so much to do and so much to accomplish this year. We have some lofty goals, and we're going to go after them.
Well, we want to join you guys, right? So Mark, I heard you say that Africa will help this company reach 1.5 billion in the next 12 months, right? That's what I heard.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you, Craig has told me all along, he said, watch out, because Africa is going to move up through the ranks, and we're going to we have a power ranking for all of you as brand partners. I've just asked that we do a power ranking for markets so we can see the market growth and who's contributing and what they're doing. And I honestly believe it. I've seen the plan. I have never opened Africa, so I'm kind of a novice at this. But I have to tell you, every time I'm on the call with all of you, all of the reports, Deanna was on the other day. She's like, wow, they are so fired up and excited. Brent, everybody. So whatever you're doing, keep that energy, keep that excitement. And I have to tell you, we're thrilled. We're so excited to be not only bringing you the opportunity, but to be partnering with you, because that's really what this is about, is creating this partnership where you can achieve your goals, and collectively and collaboratively, we can all win together. Yeah. It's the law of abundance versus scarcity. So much in business, it's all about scarcity. It's about me winning and you losing, right? What we want to create is a law of abundance where there's plenty for everybody. Let's all win and decide the level you want to win at. And I think that, to me, is freedom. So.
And that's what opportunity brings, right? This is such an opportunity. And Mark, we have a lot of people on this call that just joined the bus, right? They just got on the bus for Africa. We don't know we know about the hero brand. We don't know the details. We don't know all the comp plan details, but we can acknowledge an opportunity when it comes our way. you know, and what would you say for that brand new brand partner who's kind of, okay, I'm building a business, but I have these missing pieces. You know, we're talking about thinking out of the box and working amidst obstacles and time frames, and, you know, don't let all of that stop you and make you passive. But what would you say to a new brand partner?
Easy. Same thing that Tim Sells and I talked about when we started this company 10 years ago and we had 12 people. It's all about going out, and his analogy was vending machines. It's all about going and getting as many vending machines as you can. So if it were me, I would focus very heavily on the opportunity at hand of going out and getting as many vending machines as you can. Now, what's a vending machine? It's brand partners, right? I would get as many brand partners as I could find and make sure people know that. Along the way, you're going to find all kinds of customers anyway, right? Now, it doesn't mean ignore customers. Absolutely not. You're going to have people who want to try the product, use the products, and that's the only way you have sustainability. It's the only way you have retention is great products. But if you want it to grow and grow fast when you're first starting, I believe you need to be focused on the sales and the ability to expand your business as quick as you can. If you look at a franchising model, they build a franchise model with a few little people, right? And as soon as they get the model ready, what do? They expand it as fast as they can, right? Well, so that's exactly what you want to be doing in Africa. If it were me, I would be expanding my breadth through brand partners as fast as I can. And I wouldn't worry about, and I would set expectations. Look, no, it's not all going to be perfect because this is right now on the ground floor, just getting started. A brand new comp plan, brand new brands coming in, brand new products. It's going to look very, very different in a few years from now than it does today. Case in point, look at Europe. Okay, what did Europe look like 5-6 years ago? Okay, we had a couple of products and a few little things in there. Same with even within a market of like Italy or other things, we had a couple of products and a couple of brands, and it's expanded. Okay, we had stupid little things like, well, the taxes weren't exactly the way we wanted them to. We needed this form. We need this. This was cumbersome to enroll. We had to. Okay, don't get caught up in that. If you get caught up in that, you're missing the opportunity. What you report that, get it to our customer service, get it to our operations so they can make it better in the future, but then keep moving forward because that's your opportunity. You don't want to wait until it's perfected. When I hear people say, well, I'm going to wait till everything's perfect and everything's established and really set up, really, they have no idea what it is to be an entrepreneur. You have missed the opportunity. You've already missed it. Okay. And I say that facetiously because the opportunity should be there 10, 15, 20 years for you, and it will be, but it's a mental issue. Okay. It's a mental attitude of, if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what is there, right? I'm going to go find a way to get it done. And that is what it's all about. When we started Mexico, a gal named Luz Evangelista started, and I said, I'm not ready. We're not ready to do this. And she said, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. And she had in her little apartment, downstairs in her home, she had a little apartment they rented out. She turned it into her little mini office, and she was doing whatever it takes. She was delivering products to people. She was allowing them to pick. I mean, it was crazy stuff that doesn't make sense long term. It wouldn't even make financial sense, on a regular business model. So most people would analyze that and say, oh, I'm not doing this. This is crazy, right? And not a good crazy. This doesn't work. She continued with that and fought through it. And now she's one of our top incomers. You can see her on the top power ranking, right? Why? Because she powered through that and said, look, I'm not letting anything stop me until I achieve the success. Guess what? The company has caught up. They've adjusted. They've gotten the systems in place. They've got the products. They're continuing to expand new products. We created the probiotics just because of Mexico, right? And their growth and their things going on. So create that momentum and that excitement within your team and grasp that opportunity to be in right now. That is a huge thing that I would be going after if it were me.
I love it. Thank you for that. I think we need to be reminded of it more often, that we don't do easy.
No, we don't.
We can, but we won't get where we want to be.
Yeah, it's so true. And it was really, I think about a year ago, Mark, maybe or so, we flew into Salt Lake City. And Erika came for the first time to visit you in your home, and you weren't there.
Yeah. But I loved your home, though.
Oh,
I
we
had this
loved your
crazy thing called COVID. I had to sequester myself away.
He did. And I don't know, we had 100 people in that house, I'm sure, maybe even more than that. But that was such a wonderful moment. But we got to meet Brett Willis, and Erika got to meet the whole leadership team. And that was when we were just starting to peek at how can we get Africa in the game? How can we get Africa? How can we get this opportunity to the people of Africa with boots on the ground? And boy, it's actually happening right now. We've got manufacturing plants, and we have new products, and we have price points for the people of Africa, and we have a compensation plan for the people of Africa, and we have products and palate tastes. And so that's what NewAge did. They didn't just say, let's, brush off a few of our old products and send them on in. But NewAge came in and said, let's create this from the ground level. Let's make this so foundationally strong that it will weather through generation after generation after generation. And I'll tell you, that moves my heart, because that's why this business is so transformational. It's not just information. This is true transformation, because you have your hands on something with a company that is projected to, you heard those numbers. I mean, Mark, that's extremely exciting. And we know that the masses are in Africa. We know the masses are there. We know the people are anxious and longing to be able to provide for their families, to run their own businesses. And now we have a company that's putting millions of dollars into making that happen. So I just want to say on behalf, I'm not even a South African.
Oh, you are.
No, you're getting pretty close, Tammy.
I look forward to going there. I'll tell you that once we can get into Africa, Erika and I are going to be on a jet plane flying over the ocean to come see all of our beautiful family. And we look forward to that day very much. And we know it's going to happen. And in the meantime, we still have this beautiful opportunity to Zoom and build our businesses. And so I just want to say thank you for your time, but I do want to just ask you one more thing, if I may.
Sure.
And here we are at the days and weeks, maybe days, maybe before the launch of Africa. And the people are anxious to get started. They are very excited, is a better word. They're very excited to get started and to start sharing the products and make some income, because that's what this is about. You start a business to be profitable, to make and create income. And so the people are ready. We are ready. We want you to know we're ready.
I'm ready for you as well.
I know you are. And so we are ready. And so in these last few days, before the light switch goes on, that's the vision I see. It's like everything's already in the room, everything's set up. All you need is that light switch to go on, and you can see it all at one time. And so I think you talk to people about mindset and the importance of mindset. And that I think is very, very important. But in conclusion, as you give a charge to the people of Africa, have you ever been to Africa, Mark?
I have. Yeah.
Have. Yeah. Awesome. Have you been on a safari?
I have. Yeah. I've been actually several times. So yeah.
I'm sure. I love that. So the pulse of the people of Africa. Like, you've been there, you've rubbed elbows, and you've hugged necks, and you've been in the culture and in the families, and you see what really I don't see, but certainly Erika grew up there. I mean, many, many people, this is their homeland.
The beautiful culture.
Yes. And that's what I was going to share or what I would want you to share is your heart for Africa, your heart for the people of Africa and NewAge, and just how the linking of these two a beautiful continent and a beautiful company, and the result of what is in store for all of us.
Thank you. Well, I guess my heart would be this. No different than anywhere around the world. We want this to be, we talk about equal opportunity, but we really want it to be an opportunity for all. you know, it's non-discriminate. No matter where you're from, no matter what part of the world. In fact, I was joking to Fred a few years ago. I said, you know, we're kind of like a United Nations of our own, and bringing people together when there's so much turmoil. And sometimes you get into these political, you know, jockeying back and forth. And we see this as America and China and, you know, Russia and other things. And yet when I go to Russia, when I go to China, when I go, you know, Africa, anywhere around the world, beautiful people who just want an opportunity and want to be treated fair and want to know they can dream again. And we're all the same. Okay, yeah, there are different environments and culturally there's some different things there, but we are all the same. And I believe from a spiritual side, not to get into that side too much, but that we're all equal and that we're all the same and that we're all these beautiful opportunities for each of us are there. And we've all been given kind of different stands, you know, in our lives of where we've come in. And some will say, wow, you know, how come you're so lucky and you were born with this and I wasn't. But the beautiful thing is, what we want NewAge to become, and when we started RX 10 years ago, it was the same thing, is to be this opportunity for anybody who really wanted to go to work and dream big to be able to accomplish things that they never thought that they could. You know, Fred teases me because I come from such a kind of middle class family. He goes, you're an outlier, you know? Well, I want all of us to be outliers, okay? I want us all to be those lucky people, because you go from being crazy to be lucky. And the only thing that hurts me is when people give up on themselves, when they give up on their dreams and they decide to just accept whatever's handed to them or whatever the world's telling them they should have. And so for me, my dream and my goal would be is that Africa gets in and gets involved and enjoys this. And it's going to take work. It's going to take effort. It takes a lot of work. I remember talking to Vinny, who's our #1 incomer right now, a few years ago in France, and France had been around and she really took it off and got it going. But then she went through some times where, you know, she was like, oh, I don't know. My leaders are mad at me. These people are mad at me. I don't know. And I'm, you know, and you get into these, what I call pity parties. The funny thing is, as she's worked through that and evolved into this amazing inspiration and leader for so many people and living a life most people think would be a fairy tale, right? It's because of that, because she dared to go out and be a little crazy and to dream. And so my biggest advice for you would be is, guess what? The opportunity's there. Africa's an amazing, okay, multicultural, faceted. I can't even understand it. I wouldn't even, you know, Craig starts talking to me about things and I'm just like, okay, I know this much when it comes to this, but the potential, and we're such a global world now, okay, the potential to reach out to anybody and everybody around the globe. Okay. Well, my son's best friend married somebody from South Africa, and we were talking about that the other day. And so the connectivity around the world is crazy, right? Yeah. And so there is such a great opportunity within the country and to go global. And the nice thing about NewAge, what it offers you is the opportunity to go global. And in a fashion unlike anywhere else you could do this. And so super excited about it. I'm really excited to bring incredible products that make a difference. An opportunity. I know I talk a lot about the opportunity because I get really excited about it, but the products have changed my life and my family's life. And we're just getting started, and we'll continue to make products for Africa. And we'll make products around the globe that will be beneficial. And guess what? As you emerge and become one of our top leaders, you'll have influence to tell us that's the next product. Here's the next thing we want. Here's what we need next, because you're our business partners. So it's going to take work. It's going to take effort. And if you want to contribute and you want to be part of the team that's making it, there is no excuse other than you not stepping up and deciding you want to be it. Okay. And if you decide not to, then don't make excuses. Don't blame anyone else. Just say, own it. Okay. Own it and say, I chose not to do this. But otherwise, get involved and have fun with this, because it's incredible. And mark my words, in a few years, we'll be looking back and you'll see this huge momentum, and you'll either be part of it or you'll have been a participant. And I hope you're not a participant. I want you to be, or a spectator, excuse me. You don't want to be a spectator. You want to be a participant. There you go. I want you participating in this. But so many people in our lives are spectators, right? They just sit back and watch. And so please, 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 in Africa, don't do that. Get excited about this, keep the momentum, and have some fun with it. You've got everything in place, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting times. So we're excited. Get together.
Thank you, Mark. And I'm going to throw it back to Erika. who is indeed the queen of Africa. She is the woman that had the vision and saw that black little dot on South Africa. And it was because really you, Erika, you were a little crazy. Actually, I still think you are a little crazy.
A little bit crazy, but I feel good about that after today. I'm just saying. So Mark, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Everybody on the Zoom, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed hearing Mark's vision, his heart for Africa, but also for this amazing global company. Let us not forget we are part of a global family and we are going places and we can do so together. So Mark, thanks for your time. You might be wearing an American t-shirt, but you're one of us. I'm just saying, we'll send you one with us.
I love it. I'm ready. Put it on me.
Okay, everybody, please
Take care.
note tomorrow there will be a training Zoom hosted by Corlia Hector, our one and only Corlia, and Nick Papas on duplication, how to duplicate, which is in essence getting some vending machines into your business. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Be blessed. Much love to all of you.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Take care.
Have a wonderful rest of your evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you, Erika.
Thank you.
Tammy, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.